Good morning. Obesity expert Dr. Ali Zentner and former Winnipegger, author of the Weight Loss Prescription, joins us now. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us about your book. This is not a diet book.
No, you know, I wrote this book because I was quite frankly tired of reading all of these sort of diet books. And the implication of a diet is that there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. And let's be frank, how we change our lives and develop healthier lifestyles, there is no finish line.
No.
So I wanted a book that really conveyed the concept of who you are around food and to sort of foster a healthier relationship around food. And that goes to the point I developed these sort of eating personalities, so to speak. I mean, make no mistake, I think obesity has a genetic predisposition and a physiology, but our behavior is key around food.
So does everybody have an eating personality?
You know, I do believe we do. I think whether or not you have an unhealthy relationship with food, whether you struggle with obesity or you're overweight, or whether you're someone who is, you know, a relatively healthy weight, we all have a relationship around food, and it goes to our eating personalities. And in the book, I outlined 6 of them in particular.
Okay, what are the most common ones?
So the emotional eater, for example. Are you someone who eats at times of sadness, uses food as a crutch or as a reward? Are you a calorie drinker, someone who consumes a lot of their calories in liquid form? Are you a portion distorter, someone who eats properly but probably a bit too much? Are you a fast food junkie, someone who consumes a lot of their food outside of the home, so to speak, or in takeout menus, etc.? Are you a sitting duck? Are you someone who's relatively inactive in your daily life? Or are you finally an all or nothing dieter, someone who vacillates between completely on a program and completely off track?
So does your eating personality have a lot to do with your weight loss?
Absolutely. I think when you know who you are in life, you can make changes. And let's be frank, we learn by mistake. We learn from knowing who we are. And I think the same goes with making healthier choices when it comes to diet and exercise and how we achieve better health and a better relationship with food. And knowing who you are is key.
So not only will this help you decide your eating personality, it'll also help you get to your goal.
You know, and in each chapter, what I do is introduce you to a patient. So there's this kind of fun aspect of the book where you meet someone who's a real patient of mine, having practiced for the last 10 or 11 years now. And then I explain to you the physiology behind that eating personality, and then we go for steps on how to get your way out of that.
And now you know what you're talking about because you are a huge success story. Tell us how much weight you've lost.
Over the last 11 years, I've lost 175 pounds.
175 pounds, wow.
I always say I was my first patient, you know, I think, but I would argue that although I do include personal stories in there, I think the majority of the book is my clinical experience, having been in practice for the last 11 years, and also the science and the evidence behind the book. So, you know, I'm really proud that it's a beautiful marriage between what's out there scientifically as a scientist, but also I think that there's a very much a human element to it.
Can I ask you what your eating personality is?
You know, it's funny because I think your eating personality totally changes. I used to be a calorie drinker and very much an emotional eater and a sitting duck, and now I think I still struggle a bit with emotional eating. I think we all do, but I very much am not a calorie drinker, and you know, as someone who runs marathons, I can pretty much say I'm not a sitting duck anymore.
Wow, great for you.
Thank you.
That's amazing. So
what's your emotion? What's your eating personality?
Oh, probably emotional. I'd have to say anytime I'm overly happy or sad, straight to the fridge.
and we've done studies actually, and 80% of women are emotional eaters.
Yeah,
yes.
No, it is quite common. So coming up in just a couple minutes, we're going to make a superfood salad, one of the many delicious recipes you can find in this book, in addition to all the information about how to get on track this new year. So that's coming up. Stay with us.